Hello and welcome to another video. So today we're taking a look at Midsword. Midsword got a few nice things coming in with Infinity Evolved. So we have Princess Picnic, a very nice gold card. Fanfare, add a Silent Maid. Silent Maid gains Bane and +1/+1, and it has Ward as long as you have Prim on board. Very, very solid card, I think, especially for early game. You can kind of just play around on turn 2, turn 4, and then complement it either later on that turn. And Grimnir, very solid card as well. A card that sometimes I even forget that I have the crest for when I summon him. Very nice, especially coming in with some of the later game stuff that Sword got. Along with Rose Princess Knight, 3-drop 3/2 with Rush, Follower Strike. If the opposing follower is damaged, destroy it. I mostly use it for this effect. Don't really use it for its enhance. Although I don't think its enhance is necessarily bad. But I think the Follower Strike Rush is definitely where it's at on that card. Otherwise, most of the rest of the early game here is basically standard until we develop into the mid game, which is also pretty standard. And then we just added a Urias Levin Authority, which is basically a heavy control card. When this thing comes down onto either an empty board or an almost empty board, you can nearly lock the game to a standstill if they don't have hard removal immediately, which is very, very good. This can just straight up win you games by dropping it onto an empty board, and that is always a nice thing to see. So we're going to get right into it and check it out. So, kicking us off, we're up against Havencraft, probably the most menacing deck of the current format, at least at the time of making this video, as Wardhaven is simple and easy to use and is quite strong. We start off with a pretty middling hand, honestly. Double Royal Coach into Hound isn't great use of our time here. And I'm a little more iffy on the Amelia these days for the Silver Captain. She's definitely strong when she comes into play, but sometimes I just don't know if it's worth it, you know? So I end up going Hound here so I can get the extra damage in. Honestly, thinking back on it, probably should have went Grimnir, Heavenly Gate. I think that might have been a better setup turn for him, although I just get to play him out now anyway. But I could have held on to my dogs, played him, and then probably been fine. So they use Divine Guard. Definitely seems to be pretty popular. I have got a new Wardhaven video that will be out in probably a day or two. I've got a couple of variants I'm looking into, a hybrid and a normal, so we'll see which one comes out first, but they're both looking pretty promising. So we go for the Lionheart removal here. This is going to be hard removal on both these, basically. Very easy for a 1 for 2, why not? And it's Evo for Evo as well, so I don't mind at all. The Urias, though, kind of just going to sit in our hand. Same with these Gold Amelias, and then the other Amelia also not doing a lot here. At least not until next turn when she's actually playable. But even if she's playable, she's not exactly good here, which is unfortunate. Since we don't have a Super Evolve, we can't take full advantage of her. But we did at least draw the Princess Knight, which does let us clear, thank God. Princess Knight coming in clutch with its Follower Strike ability. They have the Alt-Art Olivia. Not one I went out of my way to get. I kind of want to, but I kind of don't want to, you know, blow the money on the codes to get her. She's a pain. They end up not playing anything off her, really, so I'm fine with that. We just go straight for a Geno play. We'll build our board a little bit, and we'll go for some early damage here. Or, well, mid-game damage here. The turns progress pretty quick when you're playing Sword. They really don't slow down. We're actually nearly looking at a good Urias play here, since Urias will basically contest this water and let us potentially lock their board down even further. Unfortunately, Divine Guard does take out Geno though, which is a little painful, but this is a really nice Urias play. Well, Urias, sorry. So we get him down, we get some heals, we get the damage off his effect, since when he does anything get summoned on my opponent's board, it deals 1 damage to the enemy and heals 1 on us. Seems like a real Haven effect, honestly, looking back. But he does combo nicely with the Grimnir effect, because when he is super evolved, of course, it will take out those 1/1s. And since Aether is coming down here, that was great for us. I mean, this is just free damage at this point. And they can't really do anything after they Aether, so they're sitting pretty here. Albert is going to let us take out the entire board and lethal them for our turn 9 play as well, as we'll just use the Albert to clear this, which will then allow us to hit again anyway, and then we just hit him with the Urias. Very easy win on that one. It definitely helped a lot that we didn't really see Wilbert last game, so it's not a really great representation of the deck overall, as I think if we saw a Wilbert, the game could have went very differently. We might have actually got stalled out a little too hard, and that is one of the downfalls to playing Sword. But hey, we are up against Abyss, and this matchup usually isn't too bad. Both these decks are reasonably aggressive in the early game, so it's really just who can be more aggressive. And Rose Princess does allow us to just clean this up for free. We don't lose anything by doing it, so why not? If anything, we're just gaining value. And we end up having a pretty easy time with the second one as well. While also just trying to develop our board as much as possible for the Iron Crown Ward for next turn. Zirconia is still one of the best probably drops for... Unfortunately, full Apollo, kind of annoying. Probably still a Zirconia play turn, just because she will develop our board out herself. Which is more than enough. It's just kind of annoying that we got dealt with by an Apollo. Turn 5, we see Eternal Hunter. This card is still super annoying to me. Oh, 7 damage on what is a 5-cost body with 3 damage to face for both players is still really good. So we get to our removal going. We set up our Grimnir. Can't do too much else. It's kind of just taking our time until the Urias play. Fortunately, we do still have Hounds and we do have Amelia, so we do have plays coming into the next turn. And it looks like they are going to have to deal with our cards, and I think that's something I'm okay with. Although getting 7 damage to my face definitely hurts. It's not what I want to see, you know? So we go for the Amelia here. And we end up getting Trooper, which is actually pretty good. Along with Prim. This will let us give everything barrier here. Unfortunately, I shouldn't have traded there. This was my misplay. I actually forgot I had Grimnir's effect. Honestly, just a small misplay that kind of cost me a little bit there. Lucky it didn't end up mattering too much here, as Urias does get to come down on not quite an empty board, but effectively an empty board. And I end up sending the Eva onto the Princess, because they do buff everything here, and then I can swing, which again, I didn't need to do. I had Super Evo, so Grimnir would have done it. So I didn't misplay once, but I misplayed twice, back to back. I could have got an extra little bit of damage in, which would have been all the more important. Fortunately, this does leave us on just 1 health, which is going to be enough to win us the game, as at this point, they just don't have a play they can make. And the final match I have here for you is Swordcraft. Swordcraft on Swordcraft mirror. Why not? What a way to end it, hey? We start off with a pretty decent early game hand, although probably going to have to use our extra play point here just to clear this 1-1. Which isn't bad considering Lance Trooper will allow us to develop board. And it does mean any other small thing that gets summoned is going to keep summoning. Unfortunately, we don't really pick up anything else there though. So the Prim Princess is going to be the only real play we have. Which then, unfortunately, these maids are also random damage, so even ambush doesn't protect them. Which is a little sad, but hey, we'll just throw the ward to board, why not? A lot of fucking early removal from this sword player. Not quite a mirror, given that they're running a couple of different cards to us, but hey, with the Evo here, we are going to clean up both followers. We're kind of just waiting till we can go for Luminous Mage, potentially Hounds, and then eventually Urias. To eventually lock down board completely. And they went for a quick play to Evo, which I think is honestly fine. I end up going for the Luminous Mage. We end up Evoing Luminous Mage so we can clear something. Taking out the 2-1 is probably the most beneficial since the quick play to can't evolve again, after all. So we're really just mitigating how much damage my 3-5 had to take. And not a bad way for the Hounds to actually go. For them to use their Hounds there is pretty nice. Because now we can retaliate with our own Hounds, but we actually get to keep ours. Which is very, very good. And next turn we are looking at Urias. So unless they go super wide here, we should be pretty okay. So this is a little annoying, but not anything we can't handle. So we do go for the Urias play. As you've seen, Urias is kind of the big win card here. Obviously, things like Albert and just being aggressive are also very important, but if you can stick a Urias and lock down your enemy's board, they really can't do a lot to you. Like, they play Samurai here, which can't do anything. Then they play Gun, which doesn't really do anything. And then they end up conceding, realizing they can't clear the 8-9. So while I think Sword got some pretty nifty tricks and some nice cards, I still am a bit iffy on the deck as a whole. I had some middling success somewhere around the 40-50% win rate mark. It'd be right in between there somewhere, which was okay, but I just got watered out a few too many times against Haven and a few other decks that are really popular, and that can make this deck really flounder in those late game scenarios when you're up against things like Rune, Ramp Dragon, and Haven, which are going to be pretty decent decks, at least Rune and Wardhaven, because currently they're kind of the rock, paper, scissors in the meta, at least for the current couple of days that the expansion has been out. But overall, if you're looking for a sword list and you already had other sword built and you only need a couple extra legendaries to make this one, hey, give it a go. What do you got to lose other than some rank, you know? So hopefully you enjoyed this video. You'll find the deck in the description below. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content. And until next time, I'll see you then.